war in the streets, war against the people. Everywhere we go, we just hear them say it's war, war in the streets.
I've come down today for the protest to support the People's Assembly because I really think they're doing a good job to unite a lot of very important causes under one banner, and so I'm here to show support and make a lot of noise and protest the Tory Party conference. And I went to the week of action last year in Manchester, so it just seemed quite natural to come back down to Birmingham.
I thought we'd all come here as a family today to protest at the Tory conference because our family have been affected by the cuts with benefits and things like that, and also standing up for the people in this country. It's the first time we've done a demonstration before, and we felt like we actually wanted to get involved and do something rather than just sit at home and worry about it.
The reason the Tories are frightened is the election of Jeremy spells out plain and simple that an alternative is possible. Now, PCS is not affiliated to the Labour Party, but we've given our unequivocal support to Jeremy and to John McDonnell. Not just because they've stood in our picket lines over the years, but because they represent an alternative too.
As a lot have come up from Norfolk, we're from Norfolk People's Assembly, and we're here today because austerity is still with us. You've still got people who are working, who are having to use food banks. You've got disabled people still having their benefits cut by £30 a week. I know Theresa May's trying to reinvent what the Conservatives are all about, but in the end, they're very much the party of the 1%, and they will always be that. And you know, nothing's really going to change. It might be modified slightly to make them look a bit less nasty, but in the end, it'll still be the same huge gap between the haves and have-nots, really.
I'm here today to protest against this government, which is probably one of the worst governments since the 1930s. They're cutting back public services, making people redundant, and in the end, all these austerity policies are just to pay for failed policies of neoliberalism, and in particular since the financial crisis in 2008, when people who've had nothing to do with that crisis are being made to pay.
But every part of school and college education being cut as well. The Institute for Fiscal Studies says it's the worst cuts in education since the 1970s.
There's no care in care anymore. Just a forced conveyor belt caring for their basic needs. There is limited or no time in a 12-hour shift for a chat about the old days or a look through old photos. Carers do not have the time anymore to stop and get to know the individuals that we care for.
Tories out! Where do we want it? Now! Tories out! Now! Tories out! Now! Tories out! Now!
And the way the world are run, the government them not help with them and all with them for fun. Installing negative feelings in our daughters and our son, and then lick us in some taxes what we tumble down. We have to come together. we as one. United people we strong. We sit down and listen to all them have to tell us for too long. We have to put up a fight to make them do what is right. So come we march together right through the night. Get up, stand up, be right. The only way to do that is to stand up and fight. Don't sit back with your hand in your pocket, for nothing going to change unless we have to stop it. Everything we say, everything we do, we got to pull together, got to pull on through. Only thing we got, my brothers and sisters, the only thing to do is to organize resistance.